Hey friends, it's Kevin Gehring here, your Sacramento, Stockton area Realtor and lender. Hey, I'm here with this week's weekly real estate report, but before I get going on this week's report, hey, I want to take a second to talk to you guys about something. I do a quarterly newsletter now, but I ran a whole series several years ago, and I called it kind of a Mythbusters theme. And what I would do is I would take what people in the industry would say to buyers and borrowers and I would take that myth and then I would blow it apart. So I haven't done that for a while. That's probably one of my favorite things that I did. But what I want to talk to you about is, if you've been following this little podcast here, you will know that it's really crazy out there right now. And the inventory is very low, which means if the inventory is low, there aren't as many listings for agents. There's not as much business going on. So I want to be careful I say this, but I want to say that when that happens, there are a lot of people out there in the industry who are looking to take advantage of you. And that pisses me off, to be quite honest. It makes me very angry to see honest, hardworking people get taken advantage of. And so I want to tell you this to tell you that you need to be very careful, right? There are a couple things you need to know. Like, number one, if somebody tells you they are going to give you a good deal, ask them to see the numbers. Just this last week, I saw somebody actually get taken advantage of to the tune of $14,000 simply because they said, hey, I'm giving you a great deal. You don't need to go ask anybody else. And so, yes, they got taken advantage of for $14,000. Now, the sad part is I don't think that this person even realizes at this point that they paid $14,000 extra for something. And a lot of times these numbers don't come out until after the close of escrow. And then you kind of look at it and go, wow, I can see it now. I couldn't warn them after the close. So be careful of that. Commissions. Now, so a lot of people out there still think that, well, the standard commission is 6%. Well, first of all, let me say there is no such thing as a standard commission. I have to be very careful how I say that. Department of Real Estate wants me to explain that, and in our listing agreements, that there is no set standard commission. Now, having said that, I will say that almost nobody pays 6% to sell their house anymore. If I see a 6% listing, I think, wow, that's a rare one. If you remember, there's no standard commission, but if I looked at all of the commissions being offered across the board, I would say that almost all of them are a 5% commission. And the way that works is the listing agent usually gets 2.5%, and whoever brings in the buyer gets the other 2.5%. So it's split 50-50. Now, some agents don't want to do that. I don't know, maybe they charge a 6% still, and they'll keep 3.5 for them, give 2.5 to the other side, or whatever. So if you're shopping around looking for real estate agents, know that the standard is not standard, but the most common is 5%. I know I've been to many listing appointments, and I've talked to people, and they've looked at me and said, Kevin, we love you, we want to use you, but here's the deal. I want a deal. And I remember I asked one client not long ago, said, all right, that sounds fair. We've had a long-standing history. I'd love to give you a deal. What's a good deal to you? And he said, I want a 5% commission split or listing. And I said, sir, that's not a deal. That's what everybody else is paying. That's like paying sticker price and saying, hey, I got a good deal. So I explained to him what a good deal is, and I gave him a good deal. So I want you to know that right up front. And also remember, commissions are negotiable. So maybe you don't want to pay 5. Maybe you want to pay less than that. But I always tell my clients this, and I have seen it, where we have to publish what the agent who's bringing the buyers is going to get. That's a published number. It's set. We can't negotiate after it's published. And I was in a situation once where I had to put less than 2.5% to the buyer's agent. And an agent called me up and said, hey, I've got some buyers. They're really interested in this house. They'd love to see it. Problem is, you're only offering a 2.5% commission, and I only work for 2.5. So you're offering less than I want. So I'm not bringing my buyers. When you bring that up to something realistic, I will bring people to buy this house. The sad thing was the commission was low because these particular sellers were up against a wall. They had no money. I listed it for free. Whatever little money was left over, I offered to the buyer's agent, and the buyer's agents just wouldn't take it. So just know that that's what happens out there. It's the reality of things. On loans, same thing, because I'm a lender. There is no law that says that a lender has to tell you the truth, believe it or not. Lie all day long. Don't call somebody, a lender, and say, hey, what's your rate? Because if you're calling somebody just off the internet or something, the rate is going to be just going to be a bait and switch most of the time. Now, there are a lot of very honest lenders out there that will give you an honest rate, and it probably won't sound that great compared to everybody else. So I could go really on quite in depth on that, and I probably should at some other point, not now. But just know that your safest bet is to deal with somebody who you trust, who you know, who, if you don't get a good deal after the fact, you can go up to them face to face and say, hey, I thought you were giving me a great deal, and look what you did. Because that's just the way it is. Anyway, I'm really off topic, and I'm going to drag this one out quite a long ways. So sorry about that, but I really want you to be taken care of and not get taken advantage of. And if you think that you might be taken advantage of, if you've got questions, give me a call. I will give you the honest answer. And of course, a lot of people might say that, but even if I have nothing to gain by it, I will tell you if the deal you're getting is a good deal or a bad deal. And I will say this now, add this in. Never take advice from somebody who has something to gain. For example, show a lot of homes. People look at me. Should we buy this home? I'm in sales. Answer should be yes, although my answer never is. I always have the same thing. That's not up to me to decide. I will tell you if the house is a good value. I will tell you if the house is in good shape. It is up to you to decide if the house is right for you. So if it's not, I will show you another 20 homes. I don't mind. I love doing my job. So it doesn't bother me one bit. Hopefully that didn't sound terrible. So let's take a look at the chart. So, chart, interesting this week. Been watching this green line, the available homes. And I had mentioned that, I expect it to go all the way through the end of March with this flat plateau. Last week it went up a little bit. I had some hope, not going to lie, but this week it came back down. So kind of lost a little bit of hope right there. The other thing is what we have experienced so far. Yes, it's been declining. Yes, we've had this plateau. We have not seen the winter weather yet. This is the first week where we've actually experienced winter here in the valley with high winds, with rains. And I have long said to most of my buyers, if you want a good deal, go out when it's raining. So normally the good deals would start now, except our inventory is so crazy low that people are still out there fighting for a home. So right now I'm still saying there aren't many good deals to be had right now. That's just the truth of the matter. Sad truth. Pending sales evened off a little bit this week. That's our blue line. Not unusual to see just a momentary kind of hold right there. Be interesting to see what it does next week. I predict it's going to start going back up a little bit, even though it's raining. All right, so median home prices. Again, supply and demand, which just continues to go up and up and up. Yes, we've got a little bit of ups and downs, but the overall trend, if we go way back here to 2006, and of course, we can go back even further. Why not? Because I can. The magic of computers right here. We can go all the way back to 2013 where I started. And look, we're down here where the median price was around $250,000, just looking at the chart. And now my median price is up here in the $450,000. So median price since 2013 has doubled pretty much, getting close to doubling. Well, really close right here. So, that's supply and demand for you. Do I expect it to come back down? There is a reality that we are probably in a bubble right now. The difference between what I see now versus what we saw back in the last housing crash is lending is still a make sense kind of a thing. We're still not doing liar loans, adjustable rate mortgages that are throwing people in a tailspin, or negative AM loans. So the lending is still solid lending. It has loosened up a lot, but still people who are buying homes really do qualify. Now there's the whole COVID thing that is going to come into effect where people maybe can't afford the house that they're living in, which could cause a real market crash. But again, I still think that the government is going to step in and not allow the housing market to crash like it did last time. There's only so much they can do, so we'll see what happens. All right, so sales, the red line, up a little bit this week from 2 weeks ago, up a little bit from last week. So, it's just is what it is. It follows really, these are the blue, I got to get my colors here. The blue, the green, and the gold line really tell the story to me, and the red line just kind of follows about a month behind. So that's the chart for this week. Rates, Freddie Mac is reporting that rates went down a little bit again this week, if you can believe there's still room to go down. Well, it was 2.77, actually went up to 2.79 a few weeks ago, then 2.77 to 2.73 as an average rate for the 30-year fixed at 0.7. There are deals to be had out there. I just quoted somebody 2 1/8 on a 15-year deal, and came time to lock it, and I was able to lock it 1.99. So I was very proud of that, actually. Rates are fantastic, and when they get better, I always want to pass it on to my client, get a little bragging rights out there to get something below 2%. You get something below 2%, I mean, you're fixed on fixed, you're set. You know, you never have to worry about another refinance again. So there you go. Thanks for sticking with me. I know this was kind of a long one, but I want to protect you guys, make sure that you're making good choices out there, because this is a great investment. Real estate's a great investment. Want to protect your future. Hope to see you again here next week. Take care. Bye.